whether the dominoes are starting to fall with the news of Klopp's departure, because this is Virgil van Dijk speaking about his future. He said, that's a big question. Well, I don't know. The club will have a big job on their hands. That is well known. To replace the manager and replace not only the manager, the staff is leaving, and there are so many things that will change. So the club has a big job on its hands, and I'm very curious which direction that will go in. But when that will be announced, we will see our situation. Is this a big deal, what he said, Craig?
Not at the moment, but I think we're going to see more and more of this. I think, you know, as questions come out about not only who the new manager is going to be, who's going to stay, what Liverpool's policy is going to be, particularly with players in their 30s, you know, like Virgil van Dijk, like Mo Salah. What do you do about a new contract? So I don't think this is unusual. And of course, players will try and use anything they can to get the best deal they can out of the football club. I mean, Jurgen Klopp's not going to manage anywhere soon. He's not. For whatever everybody thinks, right? The 2 and 2 equals 6 brigade. He's not walking out of Liverpool in the summer, slapping them in the face, telling them, and then going to Barcelona, right? He's told them. So it's not like you're going to follow him out the club in the summer to another club. So, you know, what you're going to do? Commit yourself to Liverpool? I mean.
But could he have? Because, listen, the fans are all reeling at the moment from the Jurgen Klopp news. Could he have just said, I'm Liverpool through and through. We'll see what happens with my future. It's not to talk about now. Just at least made them feel better. It's almost as if he's suggesting something there that
players always talking.
Uncertainty.
People are always talking code. That's just the way some people are. I mean, he's got 18 months left in his contract. Mm-hmm. If Liverpool want to have another 18 months at him, then they can let him go on the free. His value is not going to be anywhere near what it was when they signed him. So I don't know. I just think this is inevitable now that, you know, senior players, big high asset values are going to be asked about what's your position at Liverpool. And unless they say, oh, I'm totally committed here, not a problem, then there's going to be an angle somewhere in a little story for somebody. But for me at the moment, it's not. It really doesn't have any traction.
All right. Yeah, and what were you about to say?
Well, communication strategy, I do work a lot with that. And I don't think Van Dijk did himself or Liverpool any favours. And I'm with Craig. I understand what he's saying. But there are football stars that don't say anything for months. And then 3 days after Klopp is leaving, you're doing that interview. I thought Van Dijk is honest. I will give him that. He's very honest. But did he have to do it now in terms of timing? He's got 18 months left of his contract. Of course, he didn't have to do that. But, I mean, it's hard to sit here to say that they shouldn't be honest about their situation. But I think that talking about reading the room, I think, wait a bit. Wait another week or two or do whatever. There is no chance that Van Dijk will be unemployed. So I don't think that strategy of, say, I could be available for anyone in the summer. But we also do know that Jurgen Klopp, with his skill, with his personality, will be one of the main convincers, if that is an English word. He convinced people to stay. And when he is leaving, there will be some players like Salah, like Van Dijk, maybe another young lad, Arnold or Robertson, who's been there all their career, will think, well, if he's leaving, maybe I should look for another challenge too.
Yeah, where do you stand on it, Mario?
Yeah, I think. Look, Van Dijk spoke also because he's also one of the leaders, right? So they went to him and see his point of view. So you have given an answer, but he maybe not be in the luxury situation because you want negotiation to be automatically and without you forcing it. But away from that, for anybody who comes into that job, and because Klopp done extraordinary, you know, for that team, he built everything. I think when you go to the youth system and build the system all the way up to the top, you have like a red thread through the line of Liverpool. But now you're going to change that line. Anyone that comes in, we have seen the likes of Man United, how long they've been fighting for the journey to create it back on. You have seen it happening at, Chelsea maybe it's not, but it's one of the forms. Arsenal has waited for so long. So it's not that easy. And that's why, for me, even if somebody else comes in charge, let's say a Trent Alexander now becomes the main figure you still have to rebuild everything, because what he focused on, the passion he brought in, the emotional side that he focused on, because emotionally he really focused on his players to be aware, in the sense of like, you have to be emotional but also be in control of it. And I think like a coach like that focus on so much building, I think his next step for me, like he said, like Greg highlighted, I don't think he's going to take a job really quickly. But for me, what I'll be looking at is, will Klopp take the German job one day? That will be my biggest question for him.
So we know the dugout's going to look different.
What did he say that was that bad, Van Dijk? Because didn't he say, without going over the quote again, didn't he just say, well, we'll see what...
Big job on its hands, and I'm very curious which direction that will go in.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He didn't, you know... I think
that's a big question. Well, I don't know. I suppose it's the uncertainty.
Because if Jurgen Klopp was still manager and I had 18 months left in my contract, if I was Virgil van Dijk, and I was asked about my situation, I would probably give a similar answer in terms of, well, we'll see what happens going forward. Because
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host Sam. So Virgil van Dijk came out to the media 3 days after Klopp announced that he's leaving Liverpool, or 4 days, and he's telling the people that he's not even uncertain that if he's going to be at the club, because of course there are going to be serious changes at the club. The manager is leaving, the guy who has done so much, even the whole staff is going. We all understand these things. We did not really expect this, but that's where we are. But of course, questions like this were always going to be thrown in different players. I thought if you were Virgil van Dijk, you wouldn't try and put so much pressure in these moments where things are like this, when so much, the whole entire fan base is in turmoil. We are busy. Some people are even crying, you know. So it's an emotional time for the club at the moment, that we're about to lose one of the greatest managers we have ever had, especially of recent history. And the fact that you come out and you say that you're not even certain, you're not even sure that you're going to be in the club, that doesn't really rub so well, you know, with you as a player. That doesn't really rub so well to you as a human being, because you are just making situations worse when we were hoping that there is a future after this. So many people are confused right now. So many players are asking questions. So many fans are now asking questions. Exactly where is Liverpool going after this, and what exactly is happening? If you are losing the manager, now the captain is talking about him, he could be leaving as well. What is happening here? But also you have to understand, the way he said it, he was saying that it's not uncertain. He has to see what the club does first, then they will decide on their future. Which is, to be honest, if he had said this 2 weeks back, and now later from now, nobody really would have minded. He's just saying that he doesn't know what's going to happen next with the club. But the problem is the timing, the time where he had to say this thing, the time when he released this story. That's where so many of us are really gonna have a problem about, because we don't need we already have so much of the pressure that we are dealing with at the moment. I don't think that this is the best thing to be dealing with right now. I don't think that this is something that we need. Craig is talking that players talks in codes. Maybe he's trying to do so well to negotiate him out of a big contract. He could get it. Remember, he's 31 now, and you understand that maybe the next contract he gets could be the one that sees him through to the rest of his career, or the end of his career. So maybe he's playing around with Liverpool to try and trick them and use, you know, the domino effect to get the best contract he can get. I don't really have a problem with that. He is allowed, he has earned to get big bucks at Liverpool with the achievements he has done, with so much he has done as a player. I'm just saying the timing, that's where the problem is. That's where I see the timing is where the problem is. And something that Craig actually made clear when he was talking, he said that the problem is this: if he's going to say he's going to leave the club because Klopp is leaving, Klopp is not going to manage any team now, especially now, maybe in the next year, maybe even for Germany or something. So is there really the necessity to come out and say something like this? Do you need to even create this craziness that you have created? It's not even necessary, because the manager is not going to be the manager in the coming years. So it doesn't really make sense, to be honest. But here we are. we have to talk about Virgil van Dijk. He has created this, and he has to deal with it, because look at how the fan base are reacting. Look at how it has gone all over. So the media, how hubs, wherever you can find it, people are talking about it. Everyone are looking for stories elsewhere, a lot, and you can't be foolish enough to create stories out of nothing. I don't think that this is a big deal. I don't think this affects Liverpool in terms of what they want to achieve in this season. But as well, I feel like it was not really the right timing to come up with something like this. I don't know. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Was Virgil van Dijk really doing justice for himself, even for the club, as a captain, as a leader of the team, to come up with something like this? I don't think so. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Is he commanding the respect from these players? Like, what's to suggest he won't do it again?
Yeah.
Well, he needs them, doesn't he? He needs them at the moment, and you know the trouble is with we go back to Rashford is will a leper change its spots? Well, he's had problems before. He seems to have a mindset where he kind of thinks he can do what he wants, and if you watch him this season from day one in games, there's been some games where he's really come alive, but the bulk of the games he's played for Man United this season, he's been going about the field and I'm not going to track back, leave that to somebody else. It's all been kind of half-hearted and sort of lazy and, dare I say, disinterested. So, is that attitude going to change? I don't know. I just don't know. And this is a huge headache for United. You've got people like Rasmus Højlund up front, a youngster who's come in, and you can criticise him and you can look at him and say, well, will he be able to do this and do that and do the next thing? But he works his socks off. He works his socks off. So does Garnacho. So do even Casemiro. When he plays, when he's fit, he doesn't swan around. He might not be the speedy, quick guy anymore, but this attitude that Rashford has, it just bemuses me.
It comes down to also to leadership, Greg. You know, like sometimes when you're in a situation the way where he is he has to understand that he is that close of being the leader overall. You have to be a leader anyway, because I think any individual, when you come to a football team, you have 11 leaders. But away from that, you could be the ultimate leader I'm talking about. You understand? If regardless if Fernandes is wearing the armband, you are that talented, and you're a kid from that city. You played in the youth system, so all the stacks are all backing you to be successful. And then you also have shown everybody your talent. And then just what you highlighted in the sense of like, it looks like something is not happy inside of him. And I think this decision is made regarding that, thinking like, you know, I'm not happy with the way I'm playing or what is happening on the field. Now I'm in the club and I'm thinking like, you know what, I call this out. Well, normally when he started, come on, how enjoyable was it to watch a young kid that was so hungry? And now I'm watching other ones playing, but I want him at his best and him playing for Man United, because I know a top Rashford, even I would not want to play against him, because he's that fast and that direct.
The thing is that I think that we can only base our analysis over what we see. So we don't know what's going in his mind. We can't understand what is in and around his environment. We can't do that. But what the fans can demand is the easy stuff. There has been incidents with Rashford before. He's an England international. He can play at the Euros in the summer. I'm saying that all the time because he's a very valuable player for his country. So when we sit here, we're a bit elderly football players, we will think back, yeah, did we have people like this? Of course. But they came to training and they came to training the next day. They didn't do stupid things. They did stupid things, but somehow in the public. Is it different now with the modern game? Yes. Can you get away with a jet going to Northern Ireland? Of course you can. But can you go into a club? No, there is no chance in the world. And for me, what he is telling me, Marcus Rashford, without using words, is that I don't care. I don't want to be a leader. I will take the chance that people will not pick me for England. Gareth Southgate won't pick me for England. And you do that with 4 goals in your bag. They say Sir Alex Ferguson treated Eric Cantona other than the other players. Yes, because he was a jewel in the crown. Rashford is now a striker who can't score goals. That's what he is at the moment.
But what gets me, guys, we've all been in dressing rooms where somebody would police this.
Yes.
And I wonder if there's anybody in this United dressing room that has the personality, the drive, the authority with the manager. Because the manager needs people in the dressing room. And if that was a dressing room I was in, and I had a bunch of guys that I played with at several clubs, if we had a guy who was perceived to be having an attitude like Rashford, with his talent, with his ability, every day with somebody in training, kicking him. I mean, he would get a gigantic kick up the backside. Come on, son. Come on. Are you with us or you're not? Come on. You might as well go and train with the kids. Go and train with the reserves. You don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. And you don't want to fight. And you don't want to scrap. Go and tell the manager, right? Because you're no good to us. And that's his teammates. That's how some of our teammates would be.
But who's going to do that?
Doing that.
Who's exactly. Because no one can do that. Because you calling exactly, because I remember my time when I came to London, I wanted to go after training. Greg, you know the King's Road, how beautiful that street. Come on.
Yep.
So I wanted to go after training. I wanted to go and get lunch there. You know what he said to me in the dressing room? I said, hey, are you coming to have lunch with me? He said, are you crazy? You're going home. You're going to sleep. When you wake up and recovered for an hour, then you can call me. And then we will go something. And I was like, no, I want to go now. He said, no, because you have to perform in the weekend again. And I'm the captain. I expect you to do well. So go home and sleep, young boy. And I was like, okay. I went home, sleep. And then we went for lunch.
But the problem is, Craig, when we talk, we're talking about the 90s, so we are the older boys and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But attitude doesn't get out of fashion. And if you see a Manchester City team, you can name 4 or 5 people who will tell a young kid, get yourself in order. Get yourself in order. Because Wednesday we're playing an important game. Saturday we're playing an important game. Then it's Champions League and so on. So there are teams, but I'm with you guys, who will do that at Manchester United. And if there is someone, they're hiding that as skill very well.
Oh, hello, guys. So we are back. Marcus Rashford is at the top of the news again. The guy seems like he just cannot help himself. You know, he just cannot help himself. Whatever the anger that he has, to be honest, it's on another level to when you really think about it. I feel like what we are hearing from these guys, what they're saying is that we cannot read what is happening internally. We can only see what we see with our eyes and react to that. And at this moment, what we are reacting to is that Marcus Rashford is really not being a team player for Manchester United. In fact, he enjoys to cause chaos to either Erik ten Hag or Manchester United club as a whole, because now look at where we are. He has created this thing. How do you go to another country in a club, nightclub, the night which in the morning you're supposed to be preparing for a game, you're supposed to be training with the team, then you come and you say that you cannot make it because you're sick, because you have just played the whole entire night in a nightclub, not in your country but in a different country. In which part of the world do you think nobody won't know who a Manchester United player is? Even Harry Maguire right now, if he goes even to South Sudan, they will know who he is. Okay, let's not talk about the public stance, because we expect that everyone is known because you have put yourself in this. That's the job you have taken yourself, so you will be known by a lot of people. But the question is this. What's wrong with Marcus Rashford? Is he angry with Erik ten Hag or something? Is he trying to make his job difficult? Don't you expect this guy to be reading the room to understand that Ineos has come in, there is now a new CEO in our club, there is a lot of things that shows that there is a different direction that the club is trying to take, and me as one of the best talent in the team, I'm not supposed to be making this worse for the team. I'm actually supposed to be looking on the other side and becoming one of the problem solvers for the club. Because when you think about what's happening right now, you cannot tell exactly where his head is at. You cannot tell exactly what his achievement is, what he wants to achieve at the end of the day, because now we are here wondering, what's wrong with him? Why is he putting Manchester United and Erik ten Hag again in the public eye, in a state where they're supposed to take action and do something that we have to see. He hasn't done this the first time. We expected to see some real. This is why I'm really confused. Especially, I have to talk about this thing as well with Erik ten Hag, because he's not covering himself in glory at all. He acted. He punished Jadon Sancho, threw him out of the team, showed that he has so much power, and I don't think Sancho did worse than what this guy is doing. He's doing it on every single day basis, and every single time he comes and apologizes, then a statement comes from Manchester United and they said that we've sorted that internally, nothing will happen and stuff like that. Why did you have to put some other people's the anger you had on Sancho out into the public eye, but you're protecting this guy in glory and you're covering him? Why? What is the difference between Sancho and Rashford? Why do you always have to play favorites? Because we are at the public eye, we are seeing these things, and we can tell that the problem at the moment is not actually Marcus Rashford, because he will be what he is. He will always act like the way he wants to act. The problem is you, because you're not disciplining him enough. You're not doing anything right now. We were told that this guy was suspended, but now we're being told that he's going to be playing on the game on Wednesday. And we talk about leadership. And I wonder, who exactly is the leader in Manchester United dressing room as players? What are they saying to their stars? Can somebody come in? I remember there was a game we were beaten, by Manchester United, and Virgil van Dijk in the ground, he was attacked by James Milner. He was being commanded, he was being told what to do, that he should be active, he should be doing something. Why are we here? What's happening here? And what's wrong with this club? That's why I tell you that as much as Manchester United fans are happy about the direction which the club is going in, it's going to take so much time, especially if you have rotten to the core people like this into the dressing room. They'll always create some chaos that takes away whatever that the dressing room is trying to build. It's crazy. Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen with this one, but that's what we're being told. But what we have been told is that they've sorted it out. The club statement has come out, and Marcus Rashford will be playing the next game according to Manchester United. I'm out. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect. Before I go, I'm gonna do a fan reaction like I told you, just a simple one. Then will tell me what I want to see your reaction to it. So that's the last video that I'll be adding into this. Then we'll see what happens. Let's go.
Tottenham have been out of more cups than a teabag, fam. Tetley Hotspur, we haven't won a trophy in 16 years. Kids are seeing provisional driving licenses before we see trophies. Gyal are having babies at 16. That's a whole new life, fam. I can't believe it. It's a disgrace. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change like Owen Hart, fam. It's been so long since we've won something, I'd be surprised if there's any weights at the gym at the training ground. Because it's like lifting has not been a priority upstairs. The worst thing is, as soon as our players leave the club, they see more silver than Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, fam. Man, I see more titles than J.K. Rowling, blood. Now, it's been announced we're the richest club in London. Way! I want to thank Beyonce, F1, Wizkid, Anthony Joshua, Usyk, Tyson Fury, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the NFL, because I'm telling you, there's been no glory in football for us to be having them peas, fam. Honestly, big up Daniel Levy, you know. He's a great businessman, but it's Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I don't care about the yearly annual turnover. I care about getting turned over on the pitch, fam. It's time we win some silverware. We're the richest because our owners have been tighter than Ant and Dec. It's like all the money is trapped in a Bitcoin, because I ain't seen it invested in a squad over the years. I ain't seen it. We spent so long using school meal vouchers to bring in players that we had to play catch up. And then we made more bad investments than Nicolas Cage. After we sold Bale, I thought we would get a better squad. I would have took Chunks and Sharky and them, man. Nah, we ended up with side men. Not KSI and Toby, blood. We got that Slovenian scrub Vlad Creatures, that brother from Peru, blood. Paulinho, he weren't Brazilian. And Roberto Sol Dudu, blood. We needed a striker and we got a brother that was on strike. Then Levy said, no more, no mass, no bread fam, no carb diet for Tottenham Hotspur. Brother, our bank account froze quicker than that Nigerian scammer Hush Puppy, but I couldn't believe it. These man only started spending proper money in Pochettino's last season. And what happened? Ndombele, a disaster, blood. I thought he was going to be a big player for us. He did end up being a big player, but not for us, for Galatasaray. Because last time I saw him, he was looking like KG, fam. The Celso, we still got him now, but no way has he proved his price tag. That brother's like some Argentinian bowling shoes the amount of time he's been out on loan. And then we ended up with the hyenas from Lion King in charge, blood. Mourinho, Conte, Nuno. And we all saw what happened. Don't get me wrong, Daniel Levy deserves credit for what he has done, but not more than the fans deserving a trophy, blood. It's been too long because we just been there, fam. We're like Winston from EastEnders. We're just there. No lines. No lines. I'm extremely happy with Ange, bruv. Levy got that one right, but we need to start spending money like a club that wants to win something. 16 years, fam.
What an intro by Expression, people. What an intro. I'm interested. Who's Roberto Zidudu? I have no idea who that player is, by the way, if that is even a player. Wow. Anyway, so this expression is talking about the fact that Tottenham Hotspurs have now gone 16 years without winning even any title, which, by the way, is true. These guys, I have no idea what's really wrong with this team. It has come out that they're actually one of the most, richest clubs. They actually have so much money in London, but somehow they still don't have any silverware in their cabinets to show that they're doing something. He's talking about, he talked about a lot of things. He's talking about after 16 years old, a girl, actually a child who was a child 16 years ago is actually now a mother because they actually produce children. Talking about boys now doing, I don't even want to say to some of the things that he's saying, but one of the most important things that I think is just trying to get into these people is that Tottenham Hotspur needs something. At the end of the day, Tottenham Hotspur has to get something. You cannot keep talking about you being the best clubs, making so much money, you're producing so much profit for the team, and you're doing so much while you still don't have anything to hold in your hands to show that you're actually doing something, because they haven't achieved anything, to be honest. If you really think about it, exactly what can you look at? What can you compare Tottenham Hotspur to? What have they really done, to be honest? I don't even know, but we are here wishing that they are doing something. We are here talking about exactly where they are. 16 years is a long time. They had Antonio Conte, Mourinho, and who was that other one? Who was the other one? The former, Nuno Espirito Santos. And of course, Ange Postecoglou looks like this is actually the best thing that Tottenham Hotspur has, but it's gonna take so long to get something. They lost to Man City. By the way, that's the reason of this video. They lost to Man City. You should go check it out, the whole entire video. But they need silverware. They thought that maybe under Ange, as they're playing good football, maybe, just maybe, they could go all out on the FA Cup. But they were taken out by Man City, which they could have been taken. We knew that could have happened. But the problem is this: they don't have anything to hold on to. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. I'm out. Peace. Subscribe to the Connect. Tell me your thoughts on this new review. Do you like fan content more?